This is my first toy review, and today I will be reviewing the Godzilla King of the Monsters standalone Neca Mothra figure. And here we have some really nice box art here with a sort of stylized version of the Mothra that we saw in the movie. And on here we see the 65 years anniversary for the Godzilla series. The title of the movie that this figure is from, some info about the particular figure. On the back they show the figure rendered in front of some destroyed looking buildings. And they show the other monsters that are available as figures like this. We have Rodan, Mothra, and Godzilla. No King Ghidorah, though, oddly enough. I guess the bad guys don't get the good figures. On here, there's a little bit of a bio for what's going on with the movie and the story here. And there's a good image of Mothra from the movie, as well as her name. On the bottom of the box, they show that this is produced by Neca and Real Toys. And then we have this really nice opening flap on the front, which shows how the figure can be displayed. And it comes with, as the box said, a display stand and a support rod, which it looks like is from the movie the particular thing that the Mothra egg was originally supported on, and it's burst open while Mothra, in her full form, has burst out. In the movie, though, and in many Godzilla movies, Mothra actually starts as a larva form, or a caterpillar, and then later turns into her moth form. Here's one last look at the box overall. The front, the left side, the back, the right side, the top, bottom, and then the open flaps there. Alright, here is the Mothra figure all put together out of the box and on the display stand, and well, it's pretty good, I think. The detailing and the sculpting on the wings and the body are really fantastic. They probably won't show up too well on the camera that I'm using right now. Let me get closer in there with that. But yeah, you can see the texture on the wings is very, very accurate to how an actual bug's wings might look, if you've ever seen a bug up close. The particular texture they used on the body and the different paint they used for the tips of the claw and the eyes and the head and all the little shadow painted detail that they have and the different color on the underbelly. This is actually really well made figure right here. And even the base here with the bits of the cocoon or egg, whatever that might be, and even the actual stand that is suspended on, the paint and the sculpting is really, really fantastic here. Everything, even on the inside, looks just absolutely spectacular. However, I do have a couple of issues with the figure. For one, my particular figure has extremely loose joints on the wings, so they're very floppy. The big main pair of wings, of course. The smaller wings are at just about the right size to where their weight doesn't bring them down too much. Another issue I have, though, is the particular way that Mothra was held inside of the box. The plastic that she was encased in not only had these sort of plastic string restraints that are kind of standard in any action figure you buy, but it also had the sort of molded in things that kind of would cover over the edges of her wings and body to hold her in place. That's usually not too bad in a figure like, say, a Transformer or a standard humanoid figure where most of the body is not very fine detail, it's not very flimsy, and it won't mess with the... Holy shit, that's a spider. What was I saying? The issues that I have with the figure are basically that the way it was held in the package was too restrictive for the particular figure, and the way that the plastic frame was molded to hold it in there securely really crushed a couple of the smaller details. Like, these big wings are made out of a fairly stiff plastic, but the smaller wings here are a more flexible material that they use in a lot of toys and figures, which tends to warp really easily. And as you can see here, they have definitely warped, and it almost looks like it's the same wing for both sides, just that it's been mirrored, which is not exactly the case. They're clearly two totally separate, separately fabricated wings that were painted on their own, but they sort of have the same curve to them, which was clearly an issue because of the way they were held in the package. They were really squashed up in a certain way. And you can also see it in the way that Mothra's legs kind of sit. Especially her smallest pair of front legs here, they're clearly squashed and going to the side, and then the bigger legs are like that as well. Both front and back, they're angled a particular direction. So that is my major complaint, but that's mostly just a fault of the packaging and not the actual figure itself. And then the issue with the wings being floppy as they are is, again, just a particular case-by-case basis here. There is a good view of the wingspan. I believe the box said it was... What did the box say? It said it was about a foot. It says 12.5 inches wide. So, that is a pretty fantastic wingspan, and a pretty, I mean, that's about the size of an actual moth, but the legs are long. So, it's a good figure all in all. One last thing that I do have to say is that the clear rod that supports Mothra clips onto her midsection. Woo. Stop wobbling. The clear rod that supports Mothra actually clips over her midsection, and you really have to finagle with it and be very gentle, otherwise you could end up ruining some of the really fantastic detail on her body. At first I couldn't get it on at all, and it was worrying me quite a lot, but you gotta finagle it, and it goes on fairly easily. As far as the base, the rod just slips into a little hole there. It just kind of frictions into place. One final amendment to the opposability here is that all four of the wings are posable on a singular hinge, and the front legs and back legs are posable on singular swivels here. And that is its full range of posability there, but the box only mentions the wings as being posable. Now for the final bits here, I wanted to show how tall this thing was. At the center here at Mothra's body, it's just about 7 inches tall. At the tips of the wing here, it's about 8 3/4 inches tall. And then yes, the wingspan is definitely about 1.5 inches wide. The figure itself does have a nice presence to it, although it does feel pretty proportionately small to the Godzilla figure in the same line of figures. But that should just about do it here. And thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.